Hello one and all, welcome back. In this video we're going to be talking about the insulation of the walls. Now I know a lot of people on the internet have a lot of opinions about it. There's ways to do it this way, there's ways to do it that way. Me and my partner have spent hours watching videos online of how everyone's done it, and to be honest, I reckon it all just insulates. So this is how we're going to do it. Now, because we're in Australia, it's very, very hot in most of the areas. Obviously, we're in Victoria now, so it's pretty freaking freezing. But the van's going to be on the east coast, and it's going to be pretty hot for most of the year. So the theory is that the insulation predominantly should be pumping the hot air out rather than keeping the cold from coming in. So that being said, that means you don't have to be packing all your insulation into the walls. If you're doing that, it's kind of to keep the cold from coming in. So what we really need to do is create a reflective barrier to stop all the heat from penetrating the wall, coming through the insulation and into where you're living. Which means we're going to be doing our insulation very minimally, but hopefully as effective as it should be. And this video isn't to say that we're right, you're wrong, listen to me, not anyone else. Because 9 times out of 10, if you put insulation up against the wall, it's going to do something. Just depends how you put it on. So let's talk about what we're using. We will be using 20mm foil board, and that is all. That's all you say? That's correct. That is all. Why are you just using that? We would just be using foil board because we figured if you tape it up and join it all up, it'll create an airtight barrier, hopefully, which should stop the heat from penetrating into the house that you've just built. So this is the game plan. We're going to be cutting the foil board to the shape of pretty much every single shape that's in the wall, and then we've got some foil tape that we'll be joining the foil board onto, and then it'll be joining onto the frame, and then we're going to cover the rest of the exposed frame with the foil tape, and that should cause the whole surface to be insulated. We'll be doing that on all the walls and all of the roof. So this is the lovely foil board we'll be working with. On this side, it's got a lovely grid so you can keep straight. And on the other side, it's reflective. And this side will be facing outwards so that it can bounce the sun and the heat off and go away. Time to do some work. Before we do the insulation, there's a few things we need to do real quick. Yuck. Yummy. Ding ding. So you've obviously got to start every single job off with a pencil sharpen. Then we moved on to measuring the first rectangle that was going to get cut from the foam board. I just used a Stanley blade, and make sure you be safe with them because they are sharp. Then we just cut it out and put it in the section. With the foil tape, I put half of it on the frame and half of it on the foil board. Until maybe I was wrong. So it's a new day, and I don't think you should be looking here, because that makes me a liar. Well, I guess if it makes me a liar or whatever, maybe being a liar is cool or something, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be using some wool to put behind the foam board. Eco wool. Thermal, acoustic, energy saving, non-combustible, and sustainable. Also lightweight. And what's more sustainable than buying a sustainable product? Buying it from a scrapyard second hand, still in the packet. So let's get cracking. So when you're working with your wool, just make sure you have a mask and you wear some gloves. I'd probably even say maybe some eyewear, because my face actually was getting a bit itchy by the end of the day, and that was around my eyebrows and my eyes and my forehead, which was the only exposed bits that I had. So I definitely recommend just going full out, face mask. But yeah, we redid this section and cut out all the foam board, put it back in, and it seemed to be holding really well. I used the tape just to actually pull the foil board into the frame a bit more, and it'll be a bit spongy, but where the frame goes on top of it, it'll be pushed in. So we've run into a problem. This back door has this little clip that comes into the wall, meaning you can't really put your foil board there. Do you leave it empty? Do you let this clip get cold at night? Or do you put a foil board halfway through it? That is the whole roof of the spaceship done. On the roof I didn't put the wool in between, so it's just the foil board. That's because I didn't want it to bow out too much and then the roof be all crooked and weird. On the sides, however, we do have wool, so the whole roof is pretty freaking insulated, and that's where most of the heat's going to come from the sun. Whee! We also have 2 solar panels up there, meaning the sun isn't going to penetrate the roof as much because it'll be in the shade. Second big problem. How am I going to insulate around these windows? Do I build the frame first? But this looks dumb. So the conclusion is, with the windows, I'm going to have to build the frame first and then I'll stuff the insulation behind. So that's all done. I'll show you in a sec. But now it's time to tidy up. My favourite part of the day. So that is it. We have this wall insulated, we have this wall insulated, and we have the roof insulated. So this van should be pretty freaking insulated. With the wool, it was 3.5 R rating, which is pretty good. And the foil board, it is 20mm thick, so that'll give it some nice insulationtivity action going on. We also have the tape, which will create the air barrier to stop the heat from coming in. So it's going to be marvellous. Next stage is to frame the walls, frame the roof, and frame everything that's going on inside the van. So that will be the next video. Make sure you stay tuned because it's going to be ripper.